change this over here just to give it another name, but that's not the change I meant. And all I have to do is offset, instead of going one row down every time, I say I want to stay in the same row and go one column up every time. And now, all I did is change the 1, 0 to 0, 1. And if I run this, I get up to 100, because I have my loop up to 100 just to show why I'm using the loop. But it would have done, if I would have had to 10, it would have gone up to here. Okay?
And can you show again? Okay.
Instead of 1, 0, I change it to 0, 1. This is the rows, this is the columns.
Yes.
If I,
Instead of saying just to change 0, 1, 1, 0, I just made a whole macro.
okay? So,
This is like axis and
So this
Y
is-
axis. Yeah.
this is option. This is option 1. Option 2, to do the same thing. We're going back to the assignment of putting 1 through 10 in A1 through A10. Eddie,
That's it, you're done for.
the tip,
Donskis. Pardon? Discussing labor.
the tip of doing it the other way is using the command cells. Okay? So this does not require any macro, just use the command cells.
Where is that? Where's that command?
We learned it. Yeah.
This was called well, so.
Oh yeah, insert delete format, no?
Okay, anyone who succeeded, please raise your hand.
Oh wait, the first macro, the main macro?
No,
What?
the second way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't switch the letters around and change the whole macro, which is not smarter. I could just.
What?
The only thing to do is change 1, 0, 0, 1, that was it, right? You literally
Yeah,
just-
no, but now we're talking about doing the first assignment with the command cells without recording, without offset.
Oh, no, no. No.
So right, what, command cells, oh wait, command cells, 0. 0,
I see Benjamin has already direction.
You want this in a loop?
Yeah.
Yep, done, works.
What do you want to do exactly?
Oh, you said macro.
Fine. Yeah, that's what I got. Save.
You said you want us to do it without using a macro?
Yeah. Does anyone remember the command cells?
There's a button,
Yeah, I don't know why.
set Excel with a button.
No, not a button, it's cells. You need to write it like this. C, S,
Yep.
and it gets to arguments, row, column. Remember?
Vaguely.
No one remembers the command cells? Okay.
Oh, in the VBA.
You started next time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's no, not in the VBA. Okay, that's what I was confused.
I said not with recording. Okay.
Right.
This is the command cells. Cells. One, 5 equals top. What would happen now when I run this?
So 1 and 5.
You will show 1 and 5.
E1, so E, like the row 1, 5 to the right.
Okay, so if I run this, it writes high in E1. Remember this? Okay, so use this command in order to make a program that would put 1 through 10 in A1 through A10.
Using a loop.
You know what? Who said that? You don't have to use a loop if you don't want to, but if you don't use a loop, I want you to do it from A1 to A100.
I see what's happening. Okay. You should probably use the loop. Oh, is that the undertones? So,
Right, high, A100. Either loop of 1 to 10 or no loop of 1 to 100.
sure, I'd go.
Yeah.
Like this one.
Don't you do it 10 times? How is this really good?
What?
You can do this 10 times. That's
Yeah, if you don't write a loop, you have to do it 10 times. But if you don't use the loop, I said I want it from A1 to A100. What?
two cells now with 100. It'll be very easy. One, right? Or you want to do it?
No high, right? 1 to 10.
Can we just do that? We'd have to do that. I don't know what the map in the first place. You got me. The map. What am I missing there? I'm just copy. Supposed to do this. I'm just gonna do this.
Just don't look at it.
For I.
No, it says, what says that?
Deal.
Put I in A1. It ends up
Steal.
with 10 in A1. Right? That's where you end up. You say A1 put 1, then A1 put 2, then A1 put 3, then A1 put 4. You end up with A1 with 10.
So like, didn't we go past this like that around here? So it's just
Yeah, I as integer has no meaning. Why? How do you declare a variable? Okay.
wait, so highlight these cells, highlight these cells.
Show everyone. That's the part you think. You're almost there. Anyone get it?
Maybe.
What?
Yeah.
No.
You just do cells like 10 times.
Yeah.
If you're not doing a loop.
Okay, so I said, if you don't lose a loop, do it 100 times.
If I don't lose it, I do it 100 times.
What?
If I don't lose
And
it, I
if you,
do.
and if you finish 100 times, then do it 1,000. Or use a loop.
I don't know how you do this using a loop.
Anyone get it? Okay, so here goes. For I equals 1 to 100. Next. Okay, so I wanted to be in column A. So instead of putting over here 5, what do I put?
1.
1. Or, like I said, I can put over here A in quotation. Okay? Now, for I equals 1 to 100, says 1A needs to be equal to what?
1.
I. Because I want it every time to give me the number of I. What would happen when I do this?
They'll just put the number 100. Yeah.
What would happen if
It's
I
gonna
do this?
Sell A1, that's it.
What?
Put the number 100 in
The
A1.
number
I
one.
will put the number 100 in A1. Why? Because it will put the number 1 in A1, and then put the number 2 in A1, and then put the number 3 in A1.
Until it gets down.
Until it gets to 100, and I'll have 100 in A1, which is not exactly what I wanted to happen.
No.
Okay, so I need to change one thing over here in order for my program to do what I want it to do. Okay, where is the problem?
Just set your range.
You don't move it every time. You don't have anything to move.
It's not gonna, it's just a.
Okay, what do I want to move?
Active also.
No. Active cell means I need to go to the cell and move something. That's what we did with the offset. I need one thing. What do I want to change every time?
Cell.
The cell, but what direction?
row.
The row, okay? I want the row to be 1, and then I want the row to be 2, and then I want the row to be 3. Right.
Cell row down.
What in this program represents the rows?
Young gravy.
Like so down.
R1, C1.
Gravy for the
First number.
The 1. This over here represents the rows. This is the column, this is the row. So in cells, the first digit is the rows. So instead of keeping it by 1, I want it to be 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4 until 100. What can I use?
0 plus.
What can I use for
I plus 1.
y plus?
Row down.
What?
Y plus.
Oh, just do I.
I. Now, let's go through this together. I equals 1, right? Says 1A is A1, right? And that equals 1. Next, I equals 2. Says 2A is A2, and I put 2 over there. So now, if I run this
You wild.
like this, I get 1 to 100 in A1 to A100.
But that's if you're starting from A1 every time. But if you're doing it as, and you're not starting from A1 every time, you want to do it as based off starting from your relative reference, then you couldn't do that.
Right, that's a different assignment. I gave a specific.
Right?
You can solve that problem also.
Right.
No problem using this.
You're allowed to put I into cells.
Okay. You got this?
Yeah.
So now I want you to do this program again, copy paste, change only one thing, and have it go through 1 through 100 from A1 to X, I don't know, XC1,
However, like,
okay? On
100,
the,
100, it doesn't matter, we already have it.
on the,
This shit sideways.
Which one is it? It's like next something?
doesn't matter.
You'll see it, it's 100 place.
You can do it 1 to 10 from A1 to J10. But using this program and changing only one thing.
It's CV for the record. In case you ever want to know. Good trivia question.
It's really tricky.
What do you want us to do now? After we wrote this one? You want us to just do the, what's it called? Just want it to be the other side, Kato?
Okay, so how we do this?
You literally just switch around the A and the I, and that's it.
Okay, so I'm gonna copy this. Put over here 3. To get another name. And I want it always in row 1. And I want the column to change according to I. And now, if I run this, I'd get 1 through CV. Okay?
Can you go back for a second to your visual?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was actually.
So when you also go diagonal?
The first time I got that.
For some reason it's not going for me?
Who said that? Me?
Oh, wait, no,
We're not
that's
back.
not. That's weird. Wasn't showing it for you? No, it's fine.
Yeah?
It's fine.
Okay.
Never worked. 40 feet deep. Or doesn't work like that. Yeah. Look at that. Very nice to that. Yeah, by the way. You guys can see what the
Okay.
so big. Constantly, you know, from the roost today.
I ran. I made them. Most of them got texted last night also. What happened? No, because no one I'm done. I'm not. I lost.
12 to 1. Oh, 12 to 1 break, is that what we're talking about?
Okay, I want to go. Do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go through this over here.
Crazy, did you have to do it?
I want you to do this exercise.
Okay.
Okay, so we're in presentation 4C, and we're in slide number 10.
Right, you know, like, people see it, and it says range
In what slide?
10,
Slide 10 in what? In flow control?
4C.
Oh, 4C. Open a workbook and see this class.
Oh, this looks like a sweat signal. Just six.
Enter 1 to 10.
Which PowerPoint are we going to do?
4C.
Oh, flow control. Okay, first of all, he was a thing.
He was a big.
He break me hard.
Don't break my heart, man. You break me hard.
25 years ago.
It doesn't, okay.
And no, he had to come back with his daughter.
Don't say that.
Don't say come back.
I don't know.
Wait, which thing in the thing?
Let me see.
This is my home.
Right in there.
Oh, yeah, you read?
Don't rip on that.
Was it from the-
That's racist. I'll just die.
Oh my God. My wife last night.
She's been racist.
Create a macro. Cells 1.
Not on purpose. We had one, they were on the side.
And one of the people went shooting.
Let me see. Alright, so cells A1 to A10 in descending order, which we said is this.
It's so big, yet not too big. Half hour time zone. Like an hour time zone kind of makes sense. Like an hour, you know, if you have any sense that you cross the Mason video line, and then you. That makes sense.
That's the problem.
No, that's a different line. No, but it's basically
They have.
But there was a
Facebook, my Instagram,
when we were in Wisconsin,
I don't know if he's gonna write out that.
we woke up late and we had an appointment.
Descending order.
So we both did across town.
He's just.
And
Then-
realized that they completely fine. Because we jumped an hour.
And you also want this too.
Hey.
I just started
Can you have more than one loop at a time?
What?
Can you have more than one loop going on at once?
Okay, you have a hint over here using a nested loop, right? Let's see what a nested loop is.
I think you do and, no?
For I equals 1 to 10, next. Okay? Now a nested loop is putting over here for j equals 1, 2, 10, next. Now the rule is this next belongs to the 4 that's closest to it, and this next belongs to the 4 that's closest to it that doesn't have a next. Okay, so this next closes this one, and this closes this one. Okay? Now, if it's easier for you, you don't have to, but if it's easier for you just to follow, you can put over here next J and next I. And that way you can see which closes which.
Mm.
Okay, but you don't have to. Now, what happens over here? When I run a program like this, and say I write over here, message box, and
Uh-oh.
let's I'll show it to you over here.
Is it like nested functions just with VBA?
Okay, now just for it to be more easy for us to follow, we do the nested loop like this. Okay, so this is what I showed you over here. I have a 4, and I have another 4 within it. This next belongs to what? J or I?
To J.
J. And this next belongs to?
I.
I.
Till.
Okay. Now in here, I write okay, a message box, I, space, J. Now, let's run this and see what happens. Okay, so I goes from 1, let's make this shorter, to 3, and J goes also from 1 to 3.